by the Skype team, which consists of myself plus 4 others right now, I believe.
And guess who?
Including David.
Good, welcome. Good
yes,
to be
David,
here.
Welcome. I'm welcoming you, not the other way around. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Oh well, hiccups do happen, but as I said, it's good to be here. And for our viewers, I'm here on the east coast of Australia, and we have Lee in Scotland.
And Craig, and Nathan Bell, who's here today for the first day over in Kansas. That's right.
And most likely going under a tornado watch.
Yeah, most likely going under a tornado watch here in a few.
So, what does one say about Matthew?
Well, I'm still interested in what it's doing in terms of track. I think it's veered off a little bit back towards the northwest a little bit more. It's still moving west of north, that's for sure. But I gotta say, David, it's looking to me like it's headed straight for Freeport on the Bahamas, on the Grand Bahama Island.
I believe that. Nathan, young Nathan, you go.
Bell?
What?
That's his nickname. The Fort Lauderdale webcam is down for me at the moment, so we'll try somewhere else and we'll bring something to you. Let's see what the latest is on Miami Beach right now at 2 minutes past 3. Whilst I'm doing that, would anyone like to read out the current watches and warnings in effect?
Give me a couple of minutes to bring everything up, because it's early morning over here, and I'll fire some information up.
Okay.
So,
Craig warnings remain in effect for most of the Bahamas Islands, and her tropical storm warnings remain in effect for southern Florida, including the Florida Keys. Tropical storm watches. Tropical storm watch remains in effect for the Tampa Bay area, and tropical storm warnings remain in effect for the for the east coast of Florida. And hurricane warnings remain in effect for the whole west coast of Florida, right up to Georgia and South Carolina, where there is also a hurricane watch in effect as well for South Carolina. That is all the warnings for the minute, and also watches.
And just some breaking news from, I think it'll be Florida. Governor Scott is currently holding a media conference. It's being, I think, transmitted live via the CBS Channel 12. The governor is currently at the St. Johns County, and 2 days in Florida. Please take note, especially take note of Martin County. He made a comment that people are not taking Hurricane Matthew seriously, and he's urging people to, take note. And so that's one news item, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And droves of cars are currently leaving hurricane-warned areas. Nathan, it appears that the National Guards or Guardsmen are moving in. Yeah, United States National Guard says it's all. So the U.S. National Guard Bureau, they've just put out a posting that they are now responding, and the highway is absolutely packed with cars, which is understandable, but the traffic jam is just increasing.
Right. We'll try and bring back some of the webcams soon. But at the moment, I cannot right now.
And also,
Well,
the space Kennedy Space Center. It's a nightmare scenario.
Is it?
That's being reported by WX Shift. That's an account on Twitter. So it looks like major concern at the Space Center.
Okay. Well, there you can see the latest satellite imagery of the storm, and that is updated periodically. There's a National Hurricane Center warning map showing where the storm is expected to go according to them. And yeah, it still could do that. It's still almost on course to do what the prediction says there. I just wonder whether it will make landfall in Florida at all. Though conditions will still get pretty bad along the Florida coast.
And it's a Cat 4 now. Is it low range or high mid-range Cat 4?
140 mile an hour Category 4 storm. That's right.
Increasing?
It was, and whether it still is, who knows?
Yeah, because this hurricane's been just throwing us off all afternoon long.
That's right. At the moment, I can't bring to you any more webcams right now due to reasons that I'm baffled by. But there's the latest satellite imagery of the storm and how the eye seems to be more clear than it was for a long time. And
it is, but the north side of the hurricane's looking less powerful than the south side.
Absolutely.
The south side has
hashtag our replacement. That's what happens.
The northwestern side of the storm looking pretty lackluster right now, but the southern and southeastern side looking pretty strong still. And Nassau still getting hit by the looks of things. Who would like to go next? David, any news? The death toll's been rising in Haiti all day long. You have any further news on that?
BBC World News is currently reporting total devastation in parts of Haiti. As I said yesterday, one town has been completely destroyed, and I have no doubt that the death toll will climb. And do we know what the current figure is for that region, the death toll?
Well, it's at least over 100 definitely, and possibly as high as 130, who knows?
Oh, and I'll keep an eye on that, and I'm just looking at numerous accounts on Twitter for those that operate the Twitter platform, hashtag Matthew.
Indeed. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, search Force13, all in text. And you can also add Fool13 on Skype to stay up to date. And contact me if you wish.
Sorry.
Yes.
Apology for that. The full eye of hurricane is now on the Florida radar, and it's been described as a monster.
Well, they would describe it as that, wouldn't they?
Yes, so that's just one.
But the eye is looking like it might stay away from at least South Florida. We don't know about Central Florida yet. South Florida. looking more likely.
Yes, I'd agree with
And
that.
the National Hurricane Center's track shows tracking up along the
Along the coast.
coastline. And as I said yesterday, Nathan, the storm surge, and anybody that's on the canals close to the water, and I'll have a look at the that chart or map with the see if it's red, which will be raised above ground. What, 9 foot? So, but that picture was developing last time I saw it. The colour was really changing. The yellow, the red.
Okay. Let's see, what have we got here? Any comments? Whilst I look for those, anything that Lee, Craig, or Nathan Bell would like to say?
I really do think with the next advisory, if this storm keeps on taking this northward track towards Freeport, the cone could change somewhat. Not a lot, but somewhat.
Let's take you back to the latest radar. It's looking like that now.
And Matthew's what? Increased speed?
Yes, and as you can see, there's a big orange zone on the western side of Florida now, and I'm not sure what that is, because it doesn't appear that there's anything out there. We'll get back to you on that.
Let's see what those yellow splashes are towards Fort
Yeah, those are
Lauderdale.
talking about the thunderstorms. It's a special marine warning, which was issued a while ago. Interesting. Just about the band of showers and thunderstorms along the western side of Florida. It's obviously to be expected. We're still trying to bring you the latest webcams, but for some reason I'm unable to show them anymore. So if anyone else is able to show them at any time, go right ahead on the screen share. But in the meantime, there's the latest radar imaging. Actually, the latest frame, you can see that marine warning that has gone into effect.
And for those that are in line for the storm surge, if you've got anything low, try and move it to a higher position.
They got a new line out here. Like, I don't know, it looks like a watch box or something like that towards Fort Myers or something that just started up on that map.
Yeah, it'll continue then.
I think that's a continuation, or is that a cancellation?
What's that?
That map you were showing on the stream
Yeah.
a minute ago, it like on Fort Myers, it showed like a box, like a line.
Yeah, that's it. That was the special marine warning that's been put into place.
Ah.
And Nathan, quite a bit of reference to Daytona Beach, Florida. They're expecting at least 8 feet of a surge.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Above high tide.
Possible, depending on the track.
So there you can see how the storm has come onto the radar scope across Miami and beyond. And you can see the storm's influence beginning to build across the whole state, really. Up to the panhandle at least, the whole peninsula.
Yeah, I mean, Tallahassee, you're not seeing really anything
No.
at all. Maybe a shower or two.
Clearly.
If that.
David?
And I've got more, read the severe threat of the surge. Looking at another risk zone map, Garden City, Savannah, Thunderbolt, White Marsh Island. Expect at least 6 feet of surge on the high tide. So that's White Marsh Island, the Thunderbolt,
I'm just going to
the
leave for a
entire
brief
Savannah
moment
region. Okay, Garden City, so 6 feet, and one hopes that Matthew will deviate from its path a bit, but for those in Florida, take care. Listen to the radio. Keep up to date with the warnings, because the information is going to come thick and fast. There's no point
Any news
evacuating
out of the Bahamas
now.
at all?
The Bahamas, Baracoa, Baracoa, city of nearly 82,000 on the northwest of Cuba, was particularly hit hard by the storm surge from Matthew.
Interesting. If you want to write to us, send us a message. Start your message with Force 13, and we'll get back to you. Not too much going on the stream right now, to be honest, so I don't know what you guys would like to discuss at this stage, as we just continue to track the storm getting ever closer to the coast of Florida. But David, what do you reckon? Do you think it would, if it keeps going in this direction, it's going to parallel the coast of Florida and not get any nearer?
I would support that view, Nathan, and I'm just wondering how wide is the eye? The strongest part of the system, I think, is the eastern side?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the northeastern side right now.
Northeast, yeah. And what are the rain bands doing? Where's the most powerful side? Just reflecting on the imagery that we've seen.
Well, the radar still shows the storm quite well, but we can only see one side of the storm on the radar, of course.
No, I'll send you the link of the RAM one. You get the entire eye. You get both eyeballs.
Yeah, but you don't get the whole other side of the storm. You only get one side of the storm.
And Nathan, this would be unrelated to Matthew. A tornado, what is it? Tornado warning, tornado watch is in place for the area surrounding Sioux City, Norfolk, Grand Island.
Oh yeah, that's just
Lincoln.
happened. I believe there's a tornado warning, so let's bring you this news. There's a tornado warning in effect for central Cowley County in south central Kansas. A tornado warning in effect for that location. That's a dangerous storm, and it will be near Winfield at around 2:20 Central Time and Burden at 2:55 Central Time. That's a tornado warning. That was issued 8 minutes ago, and we'll stay on top of that as well. Back to you, David.
And just recapping on what the Florida governor has said, Governor Scott, people are not taking Hurricane Matthew seriously, echoed concerns in Martin St. John's counties.
I don't know why they're not taking this hurricane seriously. I mean,
well, they need to, because this storm is now a very dangerous Category 4, potentially weakened into a Cat 3, might have stayed the same, or might have went down to a Cat 130, and if they're not taking this storm seriously, well, there's only, sadly, one thing that you could end up saying if they do not take this thing seriously. This is a Cat 4 hurricane.
It's very sad that those people not taking it seriously, actually.
In fact, well, it's not really, it's
sad.
not just saddening, it's infuriating, because
Everyone's
everyone's basically trying to do what they can, including the National Hurricane Center. The National Hurricane Center haven't just put Florida under watches and warnings for the good of their health. They've put them there because they think Matthew's going to affect Florida, which indeed it is. But they're not sure whether it's going to make landfall.
Okay.
And if they're saying it will.
But
Now,
We've got some questions, some related, some unrelated. Do you think hurricanes are becoming more powerful over the years?
well, they're becoming more frequent. Powerful?
yes, I would say that's
Depending
not
if you're looking around just like Atlantic or East Pacific, but in terms if you're really
Would you say
running
that
around the
about
world,
becoming
then
more
I'd say-
powerful? There's no way to tell yet. I don't think we've got enough records.
No.
As for frequency, I can tell you that worldwide storm activity has been going gradually downwards since the 1960s, particularly in the Pacific.
That's correct, yes.
And even over here around Australia, and just briefly, the Australian Weather Bureau in a couple of weeks will release its 2016-17 tropical cyclone outlook, or the summer outlook. And I do support what Nathan said, that the activity is decreasing. Although down here in the southern hemisphere, the systems have been powerful, but I fully
wind damage simulation.
Jim's offline,
the
by
National
the way.
Hurricane Center's website. There's a little animation that's going through what the wind speed to do, or if you want to have a little verbal description on the National Hurricane Center's website of saying what the effects are and what they can do. A Category 3 will basically rip the roof right off of your house, causing wall failures, and anything above that, including Category 5. I'm not saying that it will become a Cat 5. That's out the question completely. In Category 4, yes, will completely rip your roof right off, and regardless, it'll be like a knife through hot butter. Yeah, the butter will be liquid, and that's not going to move.
Okay,
A question just
look,
briefly. Will this storm affect North Carolina majorly or minimally? I'd be trending towards minimally at this time, if that's the word you'd want to use for it. But it could still possibly be worse than that. We'll have to see in time. David.
I'm just going to pick up on a little bit more from the media conference by Governor Scott. His response has come after talks with emergency leaders in the Martin County. The mayor of Jacksonville shared similar worries, noting many people in the beach area remained at home. The governor said he believed that once people see what is going to happen in Palm Beach County, people will begin to move out. However, it may be too late, or it is now too late to leave because the road network is clogged, and is similar. And those wanting gas, the this service stations or the gas stations are absolutely packed. And a final comment from Scott in Stewart. Hurricane Matthew could wipe out well-built homes and destroy neighbourhoods, and the governor has been quite frank.
Are you watching that live stream right now, the governor talking?
No, I'm not. I'm just monitoring some news sites, and one of our weather groups, Oz Cyclone Chasers, based here in Australia, state of Queensland. The person that operates that service, 1.5 million have been ordered to evacuate.
Wow.
And just to reiterate on about Matthew, Recon has now found a pressure of 936 millibars.
Oh, it's dropping.
Wow.
Meaning the storm has now dropped another 3 millibars. So the storm has not weakened in terms of air pressure. The storm is somewhat strengthening via air pressure, not wind speeds as of yet.
Because
seeing air pressure is
Mm-hmm.
not really something to. Well, I don't know whether seeing a lower air pressure than 939 millibars is something to panic about, but I think it'd be more in terms of wind speeds rather than air pressure. But seeing the air pressure go down does slightly concern me that the wind speeds could increase. They may stay the same, but there is a possibility that they may have done a slight increase. A little bit, not by much. If it has, it'll probably have only just went up to 145 miles per hour, if that. If it's jammy enough.
It's impressive.
Is it going to reach Cat 5?
It's
If the pressure
really
continues to drop.
If it keeps staying off the sea more, it could strengthen even more.
Yeah, as long as conditions can play out, but as long as from what I've seen, the conditions have now started to play hostile with him. They're not playing. They're not joining in with the fun with him. They are now starting to see the truth about him. Starting to see through him. In other words, starting to destroy him. I don't know whether that's changed in the recent hours because I haven't been here, obviously. I haven't seen anything that's changed as of yet. Anyway, let's have a look.
And
shear's minimal. In fact, near enough. 5-10 knots, if that. 5-10, 15 at max of wind shear. That's practically near enough nothing. That's not enough. It's not enough to weaken him in any form. Nicole's encountering a little bit of shear, but that's near enough the exact same strength as what Matthew's encountering. The shear that Matthew's slightly encountering is decreasing by about 5 or 10 knots, but where he is, that area he's in is decreasing by 5. Tropical storm, whatever its name is, I can't even pronounce it. I think it's Erie or Era or whatever. Do try and correct me if we're wrong here. Is in practically zero shear, literally zero shear. Some shear is increasing behind it, but where it is at the minute is in zero shear, and the shear ahead of it is decreasing, and I have no idea how it can decrease. The whole of the Western Pacific, near enough, is on the decrease, but in certain areas it is increasing by at max 20 knots, but there is an area of 30 knots between Taiwan and Luzon. So no storm could really form there, but the rest of the Western Pacific does seem to be favourable for development. But obviously that's not our main concern at the minute. But we could still see a major threat from area on Vietnam or China.
Back to Matthew, and what do you think of its the loop that it's forecasted for so long?
I think he's supposed to go down to the pub and get absolutely sloshed.
Yes.
It's questionable. It is very, very questionable, especially at this point in time. And It's very, very questionable.
And just recapping, sorry, Craig, the tornado watch is current for parts of central northeast KS, southeast NE, northwest MO, southwest IA until 9 p.m. CT.
Yep, and the tornado warning has been in effect for nearly 20 minutes now for central Cowley County and south central Kansas.
Things are getting very busy. Let's just say that.
Dangerous storm expecting to be near Winfield. That was 10 minutes ago now, and Burden at 2:55 central.
And National Weather Service in Wichita is advising if you're in Winfield, take shelter.
Just looking at it, oh yeah, there looks to be a hook echo with this thing. There could be a tornado on the ground. Or a tornado forming. At least.
That's Kansas for you, y'all. That's Kansas.
That's good old Kansas. It's good at forming tornadoes. Yeah, there looks to be a developing tornado. There is red and green.
Here's the thing I'm worried about with these storms. There are multiple storms developing here. I'm starting to see a storm to the south and south of it that is gaining strength too. So this is just the first of what could be a major severe weather day in the plains.
Looking at the velocity, there is a mixture of red and green, so that is indicating that there could be a tornado on the ground, or there could be a developing tornado. So anyone in the area of Arkansas City really does need to either take shelter now or wait for an update from the National Weather Service. But I advise to take shelter if you're in that area at the minute, if there's any houses in the path of it. Because this storm is currently heading northeast, and probably my estimated estimated movement speed is about good 45, maybe 50 miles an hour. If anyone's chasing this storm, this is a storm you would not want to be. If you're a storm chaser, this is a nightmare of a storm to chase. In fact, this storm is near enough unchaseable. Storm was supercells to move at this speed and not chase it.
This storm has blown up in the past few minutes.
That's the shocker about supercells. They like to blow up.
And back to
definitely going to try more today.
Matthew, highlighting what Governor Rick Scott has said. This is serious. If you need to evacuate and you haven't evacuated, this storm will kill you. Time is running out. We don't have that much time left, and that's being reported by CNN.
If the warnings are being that, if you've got your own governor saying that, the warning is stark, and then obviously when he means that, it's stark, it's serious. Don't hang about. Take this hurricane seriously. Yes, they haven't been hit by a major since Wilma, but that's no excuse. That is literally no excuse to not take this.
We've got breaking news. It's been reported by Cake News, Kake, confirmed tornado reported near Tisdale in Cowley County. Confirmed tornado, Tisdale in Cowley County.
Radar on what's his name? Matthew. I'm starting to forget. One I wish he's over. The eye wall, the old eye wall at least, is now starting to break up on radar in terms of rain bands. So this is the start of possibly his old eye wall starting to give out, starting to die. RAM, I do not know whether they support that. I'm just going to update that one as well. See if that one's saying the same thing. This is the possible big game changer here because because Matthew on the National Weather Service radar looks to have gone back towards a more northwestern track, heading towards possibly Fort Pierce, but it's probably too early in the stage for saying that.
I'm not
just gonna wait and see what the RAM imagery says for radar. I don't think they've really changed that much. I don't even think it's updated. When was the last image that I know of, at least? The last image, 1744 UTC.
And read a tornado. Confirmed tornado, as we said, southeast of Winfield, Kansas. However, for those in Burden and Cambridge, take shelter now.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure what to really say at this point. Any ideas?
We're sort of
what was
choice, really.
What was the latest from Haiti?
Oh. Well, in terms of death tolls, the last I knew that was posted by a team member that the death toll was 136 fatalities from Haiti. This could make Matthew the second deadliest storm this year. Still first place is still Tropical Storm Ronu in the North Indian, which killed 227 people. I don't know what the death toll so far in total is from Hurricane Matthew. I reckon
108. That's one figure 3 hours ago, so no doubt that's climbing.
Oh, I think it'll climb dramatically. Unfortunately.
And ambulance strike team are on standby in CLT, ready to be deployed to the NC coast, being reported Fox 46 News.
Indeed.
There are a lot of storms developing. There's actually a severe thunderstorm warning ahead of this tornado warning right now. So it's a very big developing situation. I'm definitely going to be able to give you guys some live views outside my window and stuff. And if I can, I could go outside and give those views to you of when weather does get bad. It's very sunny over here, clear skies, but at a moment's notice, it could be basement time before you know it, if you know what I mean.
That's the sort of thing about the American climate, especially if you're like Kansas and all that. I mean, it does have that that little tendency to change from a beautiful sunny day to suddenly very, very ugly within a matter of seconds.
Absolutely.
And I have news for the energy side. It's being reported power will be down for at least 5 days in Broward County.
Oh. Total fatalities
what
from
was
Matthew
that in Broward County?
Stands.
Electricity down for 5 days.
Why?
Oh, that's a projection. That's not happened yet, has it?
Possibility.
The total death tolls all.
But I'll say unconfirmed. It's just what I'm citing. And Nathan, ABC News, they're running with the total destruction over in Haiti. At least 1% remains of the housing.
In the whole country? I think that was in one city or town, which is where the storm hit. That's what I heard from Devon earlier.
Coast. Barely 1% houses standing. That's along the coast.
Who came up with that figure?
And just to reiterate, total death toll from Matthew is now 140.
Say again.
140? Wow, my goodness.
42.
140.
142.
Yep. That makes the total Atlantic death toll to 216.
Okay. We'll keep giving you updates on that as we get them.
Yep. We'll try our best. We'll try to the best of our abilities.
Okay, now I don't know. The President, Obama, has declared a state of State of emergency, Florida.
Yeah, I'm still grasping to understand that one, considering the governor declared a state of emergency days ago. I'm not sure what that means or signifies. So, if there's any clarification on that, that would be nice.
Alright, I'll monitor that one. CNN's reporting it, so I agree with you, Nathan.
No, it may well be true, but I'm not sure what it means, considering how the state of emergency had already been declared. Weird.
Unless there are two types of warnings.
You wouldn't have thought so. You know, a state of emergency is a state of emergency, and apparently it was declared days ago.
Radar.
Yep.
And the original eye looks to be giving out even more. But then again, it could just be an illusion of the radar because it's not got the entire full scale of the eye there. But by the looks of it, the actual original eye's tried to bulk out, but I think it's going to give out soon enough. I think it'll start to die away. Not the hurricane, but the eye will.
Increasingly likely that it's going to be a landfall pretty soon, but not in Florida, in Grand Bahama, I think it is. Is it Grand Bahama, that island? That island that you see, anyway.
And while we wait for clarification on that, WBZ News Radio in Florida, Walt Disney World, Universal Studios and SeaWorld close until Matthew passes.
So that's probably at least 2 days. At least 2 days.
And as we know, Matthew is now a very dangerous Cat 4 system.
I've been trying the whole hour to bring back the webcams, and I'm still having no luck at the moment. I don't know whether there's something wrong over here or whether there's actually something going on over there, but I wouldn't have thought so. The radar obviously showing some significant amounts of rainfall, but I wouldn't have thought it would have knocked out the whole of the webcams on the east coast of Florida there by any means. So something's wrong somewhere, but we'll keep trying here.
I'm watching a live stream on KSN.com for the Wichita area. Watching Matthew also, but also watching tornadic activity because that is quickly rising.
Yeah, there's a tornado warning after all.
We could see more of those later on too.
And if anybody has information on Palm Beach International Airport, current scene at the airport, and ticketing machines are covered in plastic and flights in and out of Palm Beach International Airport. So, and anybody that is out along the beachfront, get indoors. People will probably be out sightseeing and taking photos and being on the beach or along the foreshore. Not a good place to be with this system and water spouts, tornadoes.
Definitely not ruled out with this hurricane.
And one hopes that Matthew will change course, move away from the coast. But that NHC forecast track and the cone It looks like Matthew wants to do a complete circle.
Yeah, and latest recon has now still finding Category 4 force winds.
And if anybody's planning to venture into the surface, stay clear. That storm surge is going to be massive.
Apparently, from what I understood from one of the forecasts, this is from our lot, the BBC Met Office. Don't trust Met Office. I'm just going to go off what they're saying anyway. Is that they're saying 100. They're saying a storm surge when he hit the Bahamas of 12 feet.
Absolutely, they were saying between 10 and 15 feet for the Bahamas.
And just to reiterate as well, Dropson is now confirmed. This is Dropson data, so this is now confirmed that there is now a new low air pressure of 936 millibars within Matthew. That is confirmed Dropson data.
And power crews have prepared. Start again. Power crews with Pike Electric from all over the United States, including Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, have prepared their trucks in Pembroke Pines, Florida, and they're now on standby to respond.
Now there are some pretty good heavy rain bands in Florida now. Jacksonville is about to get impacted by one of those as well. Tampa, they're about to get impacted by a heavy rain band. This one's a pretty intense one too. On the western coast. And there's one going towards Marathon, and I'm telling you, anyone on that beach don't want to be anywhere in that heavy rain. But nothing in Key West, and I wouldn't be surprised if Key West would be released from their tropical storm warning, is it?
Where was that?
Key West.
Key West is not under any warnings. Marathon under a tropical storm warning, and then you've got Key Largo under a tropical storm warning all the way up to Miami, Miami and Homestead. And that's where the border with Broward County is where the hurricane warning starts, and it doesn't end all the way up the coast to South Carolina.
We're seeing the eye, and is it taking more of a westward turn, or is it's going more northwest to me? More of a north.
It seemed that way to me as well. I don't know if the new frames show anything different. It's still very much heading towards that island, the Bahamas, the northernmost of the Bahamas Islands.
Craig, any update on the Hurricane Hunter, when their flight's going up?
Well, they've already got a flight within him, and just to reiterate to you, David, that their latest, that they've got confirmation via Dropson that there is now, that the low air pressure of 936 millibars is confirmed. That is Dropson data, and they're still finding Category 4 forced winds within Matthew. That is confirmed. And that there is a new eye wall starting to form because the winds have actually dropped off on one part of the storm. So there is looking like there is a secondary eye wall forming. Because the wind afterwards, the wind's starting to pick up again. So there is already, by looks of that, going by recon, that the second eye wall is starting to become apparent and affecting Matthew. That's not saying that Matthew is no longer dangerous, because Matthew's still dangerous, because an eye wall replacement, as I said earlier, can increase convection, which increases rainfall, and then, regardless of wind speeds,
do you think it's the reason why
trouble.
Do you think it's the reason why it's not going as west as we thought it would. It's almost going as west as we thought it would, but
placement's got anything to do with it. I think
is
it'll
going
just be either the trough
slightly
or
east of forecast right now.
I think it'll be either due to the trough or the steering currents. I don't think the IO replacement would probably have anything to do with it.
That's on high pressure, guys. You think the high pressure's got something to do with it? You think the high pressure might have moved to the east some and allowed it to move more east?
If the high pressure moved eastward, then the storm would end up being also would be dragged with it. Or no, in fact, no. If the high pressure moved east, trying to work this one out here. Oh god. Low pressures and high pressures. Obviously, high pressure would push it. Depending on how strong it is, I think it's regardless of how strong it is. Pressure, low pressure. High pressure. I think Matthew going depending on how big the high pressure field is, regardless of strength of that high pressure. I think that Matthew would end up still being pushed toward the coast, depending on how far it's moved eastward, as in the high pressure.
Nathan, I'm going to bring up the screen share. And recapping on a storm surge, I have this
nothing there right now,
chart.
David. What I do have, however, is the latest webcam from Miami Beach. Finally, we've got something again to look at. That's looking northwards, it would appear, along Miami Beach, and you can see that the rainfall has certainly been coming down a lot more than when we last saw it, and the visibility is going right down as well.
But the wind, what do you think about the wind? Do you think the wind's increased some, or do you think it's still more like the same?
I'll try and get you some actual concrete information on the winds over there, but I expect that it's probably going to be gusting to nearly tropical storm force winds over there. As of 3 o'clock, the wind speeds were as follows: 24 miles an hour at West Palm Beach, gusting to 36. And out at sea, one or two places starting to receive tropical storm force winds as well. Some places just a few miles. There's one place a few miles off the coast of Key Biscayne, I believe. Is that the one? Or it might be a different one. Somewhere, let me just try and find out exactly where this is. Oh no, this is a location right near Freeport actually, that's currently got 41 knot winds and increasing. So we'll keep you up to date on that, and we'll try and get you some more webcams as well as we reach the end of this hour. And there have already been power outages in the area, which is something I was thinking about. Apparently this was as of 1:30 on the East Coast. Miami-Dade had over 7,000 power outages, Broward County over 4,000, and Palm Beach 1,000. And that was 2 hours ago, so it could be a lot more than that by now for all we know. I'm quite surprised, but that's the case.
That's very interesting to me, because
that's the worst. That's the last thing Florida wants. Is starting to get power cuts, and the storm's not even there yet. If you're starting to get power cuts at this stage, man, that's because then if that happens, the power goes out. You got a major hurricane heading toward you. You ain't gonna have any information at all. So they're blind and they're in deep trouble, especially without power. So
and just to finish off the hour,
running blind.
Just to finish off the hour, we've got the latest from Sunny Isles Beach, which is off the north Miami, North Beach, I believe. And that's what it looks like there right now. Not too dissimilar to what it looked like earlier. So you haven't missed much, it would seem, since we couldn't get the webcams up, but we've got them back now, it would appear. and that's the latest along the east coast. Pretty much that what you're looking at there is probably the closest point to the hurricane right now, and we'll keep on top of it over the next few hours. This is Force 13 Live. Stick around, it's going to be a long evening of tracking the storm, and we'll be here to talk you through it. Stay tuned.